Hello and thanks for checking out TheChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. Sign up for a 1-week free trial, no credit card required, for access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hey everyone, hope you had a good Thanksgiving, and those that weren't celebrating it, hope you just had a good regular old day. The Chart Guys are running our annual Black Friday sale. We've got a couple more days on it. It's going to be an annual membership plus a free course of your choice for $6.99, saves a few $100, and the code is Friday699. We're going to end this on Monday, so check it out if you are interested, and that's just the code during the checkout process that you would use. So we're going to look at WEED, ACB, APH, MJN, RTI, and HMMJ. There's certainly plenty of names in the sector to be looking at in terms of bullish charts and opportunity, but I'm not going to make a 3-hour video, so those are the ones that I have chosen as the most popular names, and we are going to be looking at some key levels. Right now, WEED is really on the sidelines in terms of an exciting week last week. There was still profit to be made. There was still nice uptrend for the bulls, but it's not blue sky breakout like so many other names. And those blue sky breakout names are going to capture attention every time compared to a name that is not in blue sky breakout due to the lack of resistance, the ease of seeing further continuation and gains, and we'll see that with a couple examples. But WEED, we hit our low of consolidation. We bounced off the middle Bollinger Band, and we were heading into this week with the bulls bouncing pretty significantly. We have a higher low at 1810, and the bulls are now trying to hold another higher low, 1883, the low of the past couple days, 1883 and 1886. So you can see how tight we are getting here. And if we were to see a bear break of 1883 and a loss of this daily middle Bollinger Band, then that's a little bit of a short-term red flag. The bulls need to see a break of 1958 and continuation back up towards that all-time high. But where we stand right now, we're about 14% or so from that all-time high. So we're not even that close right now, and it's going to require some big news, in my opinion, to kickstart the bulls to get to that level in the near term. Otherwise, we can look for, slow and steady days, maybe 2-3% days to make our way up to those points. But the attention is elsewhere right now, and we no longer have this funnel effect of money where when WEED was breaking out and had that news, and it was really just the money was pouring into WEED, and now it's kind of dispersing into all these other names. So I call that the funnel effect of money, where there's limited choices and it really magnifies the moves. Not the case right now. Weekly time frame, healthy consolidation, pulling back with an inside bar on the weekly, very tight range. Volume is decreasing during this consolidation. That's entirely normal. Bulls want to see increasing volume on the way up and then low decreasing volume on consolidation. So far, so good. There's no red flags here. The bulls completely have control of these trends. It's just where our money can be put to better work is really what traders are looking for in this scenario. So if you're long, there's nothing to worry about. Those key support levels, 1883 and 1810. We'll see if the bulls can hold those this coming week. Keep an eye out for a volume spike. It's a very clear declining volume pattern. And when we see that volume spike, the direction that volume is accompanying gives us momentum in the short term looking to that direction. ACB on the daily time frame has just been a star. It saw a huge move, significant pullback. We pulled back from 690 to 501. That is a 30% pullback or so, and that's just off the top of my head. But the fact that we hit an all-time high this week is very significant. The vast majority of the time when you see a move like this, you can anticipate an equilibrium pattern to form. And by vast majority of the time, I would say 9 times out of 10. And that's where you have a breakout, a high is hit, significant consolidation, and then we would expect a lower high and higher low. So I was keeping an eye out for that this week. Obviously, we didn't see it. Look at the momentum. We closed up at the high of the day on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. A little bit more profit taking on Thursday, but here we closed at the all-time high heading into next week, and the bulls are looking for new all-time highs this coming week with that strong close. I would not be surprised to see a gap up open on Monday to tag that all-time high real quick, and then we'll take it from there in terms of whether the bulls can keep this move up. So in terms of finding support, if you're looking at the daily chart, you can just be looking at the clear higher low pattern, and as long as those higher lows are maintained on every day, the bulls maintain that control in their favor. You could also be looking at the hourly time frame. This is APH on the hourly, and I can see that we had a bit of support here established at 972. That's actually APH, so excuse me there. Let's look at ACB real quick. So the hourly higher low support, I'm looking at 713 and 7 psychological as the shorter term supports to be watching on ACB. But again, increasing bull volume, all-time highs, very likely as we head into this coming week. Congratulations to the bulls. And that's where the money has been. I've been short-term trading this sector, just locking in gains with full stacks. And of course, everybody's using different trading positions. So when I'm selling, that doesn't mean that we're heading down. And I'm all in my entire stock account when I'm trading. So the last thing I'm going to do is go all in on an individual name and leave myself exposed in those positions. I'm constantly monitoring them. I'm constantly, protecting them and taking profit on the way up. So that's my style of trading, to continually compound profits and reinvest them. So just as an example, on Friday for ACB, I had a secondary entry that I made at the bull break when we hit a new all-time high. I believe it was at 710 or so, and then sold in the 720. So just locked in that gain again. To go all in over the weekend in one single stock, in one single sector with your entire portfolio of trading would just be very not smart. So that's why I am, and plus I'm in the US here, and we had the markets close at 1 p.m., so was not aware of what the close strength would be. Either way, if you're long, you're very happy. If you're trading the sector, you're very happy. There's tons of gains to be had out there. And we are looking for all-time highs on ACB. APH, extremely strong as well. Another name with all-time highs. So this is the same scenario. There was better opportunity in ACB and APH on Friday, which is why we saw money go there rather than trading in WEED and trying to play catch up. So we will obviously keep watching the sector leader of WEED, but as long as these blue sky names are running and closing strong, we're looking for more. So these are the kind of closes on ACB and APH where I would be comfortable holding overnight and looking for that gap up and continuation. So 1025, we'll be looking at 1050 and $11 psychological resistances from here. A little bit of news came out after hours about the TSX not really penalizing names that have holdings in the U.S. I still actually have to read that article. I only saw the headline, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But I do believe that will be perceived bullish for APH, and that is going to only help on Monday after an extremely strong close at all-time highs. So the same thing for APH. If we're looking for that support in the shorter term, we're looking on the hourly time frame, and that higher low on the hourly is 972. So we got 10 psychological, 972, and 967 as a few shorter term supports on APH. All-time high breakout on the weekly time frame, the continuation, extremely strong, no slowdown in sight, and a beautiful sector heading into 2018. MJN, very tight. This is the kind of position that I would watch and look to make a move on if we break this consolidation pattern. So we have support at 397, 402, 405, clear little incremental higher lows. Lower highs we have at 418, 415, 413, 413. So a break of 413 on Monday is a bull signal, and we'll be looking up at 419 and the all-time high 445 from there. So if making an entry on that bull momentum, we'll look for a volume spike. I love these tight equilibrium patterns because they give us a clear entry signal when the break occurs, and traders all over the world are going to see that same clear break and likely act on it as well. Weekly time frame still above the upper Bollinger Band, not confirming the bearish reversal shooting star candlestick with the big upper wick of last week. Still very healthy, and if we get that bull break of 413, that will be a place to be looking next week for momentum. And if we break 413 and we don't see any significant follow through, it would be a break of this daily higher low pattern the last 3 days. That would be a short-term red flag. So MJN is looking very tight, ready for the bulls. RTI, blue sky breakout, extremely strong. Same scenario. You close at the high of the day in blue sky breakout. You're looking for more the next day. So we're going to be looking at 155, 160, just psychological round numbers. Significant gap up open from Thursday to Friday, where we closed at 135 and we opened at 142. So a really nice 4 or 5% gain just on the gap up that the bulls held. And we're now almost at 100% move in just a few weeks. So the weekly time frame, blue sky breakout mode, and a significant follow through. We have a lot of these low cap names that are seeing these blue sky breakouts. And as I always say, the names that are in blue sky breakout are favorable for the bulls to be playing compared to names that are not, like WEED. So I would be watching these low cap names. Some of them you have to be keeping an eye on volume. You know, if volume is only a couple million traded per day, you wouldn't want to be using large capital to try and short-term trade these names. But they're definitely names like RTI where you would want to have, some capital in this and swing trading it when we are closing at the high of the day. And it's just utilizing the pattern. If you can see that on Thursday, we closed at the high of the day and gapped up 4 to 5%. And then we close it at the all-time high. It wasn't even that all-time high on Thursday, but now we're at high of the day and all-time high Friday. We're looking for a gap up open. We can be very confident in holding overnight when we close at the high of the day. Checking in on the sector, HMMJ, same thing. Blue sky breakout, close at the high of the day. More is coming next week. So we're looking at 14 psychological, 1410, 1420, so on and so forth. Higher low pattern on the daily time frame has been in place now for 6 days in a row. The bulls will look to maintain that to keep full control. Blue sky breakout, extremely strong turnaround. We had the lower high pattern on the weekly time frame break for the bulls in July, and it's been nothing but follow through. And this sector is not going anywhere, as everybody knows, and it is getting a lot of attention. So as we get closer to legalization, closer to 2018, it's only going to gather more hype, and we have to be cautious on names that have run significantly, like RTI, just in the sense where if we are making entries, in the 140s and 150s, we've already run 100% in just 3 weeks. So we need to be protective is the bottom line. And even if you want to go long in a name, that doesn't mean you can't protect your position with a stop loss at a key support level and then just reload lower. So that's where we stand on the Canadian MJ sector. The cryptocurrencies are blue sky breakout all-time highs. Canadian MJ is blue sky breakout. We've got blockchain names that are blue sky breakout. The amount of trading opportunity in 2017 is unlike anything I've ever seen in the last 8 years. Granted, I'm young and haven't seen the dot-com boom, but this is insanity, and we need to strike while the iron is hot and protect our capital along the way. We can't just be blindly, going all in and risking significant capital, just assuming that things are going to go up. We have a good idea that things are going to go up in this sector for the foreseeable future, if not, the next 5-10 years. But we always need to protect, just because, you never know if there's a black swan event in the US or something like that and the stock market crashes. These names will be affected and they will go down as well. So certainly not expecting that or anticipating it. It's just something we always want to be protecting against. So I am always erring on the side of caution to protect our capital and continue doing this for decades after decades to continue to provide ourselves, more financial freedom or comfortability or retirement or whatever your goals are. I appreciate you watching, and we will see you in the near future.